Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our number 1 seed from Clover, South Carolina, Brianna Clemmer.
And I know Carolyn has not left my side this afternoon, but she apparently can communicate telepathically with these athletes, and we'll explain that in a moment.
Go.
Well, if that's a no, I want to see what a yes looks like. But no, explain what my remark there.
Okay, definitely playing the same part of the lane as Brianna first.
Okay.
But I said at the end of last match, oh, here we're just going to show it. Look at that. Wow. Same thing, but again, here's the end of the trace. Oh, sorry, JT. End of the tracer. It went a little long. So what I said was at the end of that last match, I go, if I were Brianna Clemmer, I would make Brianna end on the left lane.
And that's
so
what's
I
going
would
to happen.
start the match.
Yep. Higher seat. Uh-oh! What is it about first frames today? The first frame. Now, meantime, Brianna Cote has had 2 strikes and a 9 spare. 3 out of 4 of her first frames, she started with a strike.
And I'm telling you, she's got this right lane down. She is focused. She has not moved much on this right lane at all, except for the fact of maybe just 1 or 2 boards where she now can get that ball to that 8-9 and have a little bit of hold, or get it out to the 1-2 and it comes back and blows the rack. It's the left lane, and I'm going to see if she makes a move on this lane or just increases her ball speed.
Well, the strike percentage, that strike we just saw, makes her 14 out of 17 on the right. She is 7 of 17 on the left. Ooh, and again, look out. Boy, that has happened to her a lot today, but she's somehow escaped disaster.
See here? Misses way left of target. As you can see, ball just jumps through the nose, doesn't go quite Brooklyn. That's correct.
Of course, Clemmer had that choice, being the number 1 seed, and she took the path that you would have taken if you were in that number 1 position.
Right, because there's the reason right there is it's the lane that has been giving her the most trouble. Even though she's gotten through these matches, that left lane has been tough for everyone.
And she goes right over to a conference with her ball reps.
Wait.
That is the Brianna Clemmer that we saw the last couple of days.
And she's going to play the lanes, I think, the closest to Brianna. We see this left arm here, but look at where everything is just in line. I mean, I can't get in front of her face, but this is all in line. I love it. And I'm going to tell you why she has her left arm out. She had problems with pulling down and just her swing getting really like muscle. And Brian O'Keefe had her put her left arm out to help her just feel a little more relaxed, believe it or not, in the right. And it kept her so in line, and so she felt more loose, and she just kept doing it.
Well, it has worked. And the one thing that Brianna doesn't have that everybody else in the show has is a PWBA title. Young player, so there's certainly plenty of time, and obviously talent. So is it her time today? Well, she's going to run into a lot of resistance from this woman right here. And I got to think, if you're Brianna Cote, what's that expression? The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. She's been on the air as long as we have today. So she started with the first match, and she is not going to give this out very easily.
No, and this right lane has just played to her strength. And she has had to make very minor adjustments on the right lane. I was just going to say, I think she needs the ball down. I think she needs to go to something a little bit cleaner. That ball is picking up too much in the middle part of the lane. She's going to go back to the emerald, the one she was using in game 1.
You mean that one?
That one.
Okay. Got the 5-pin left. And an opponent who was the top average, 237.4. Right, no trouble at all for Cote. Shannon O'Keefe wound up in 6th position, so she stayed steady as you would think she would.
Come on. Yes.
The other thing about the last couple of days, you could close your eyes and hear her bowl. When she was really getting hot, she's hit 3 in a row, and it's the first time I think somebody other than Brianna Cote has had a lead today.
And you can see she's using a ball that's a little bit cleaner, and she is getting around it just a little bit, but she has great ball speed. And remember, we talked about that earlier. It's going to be key to maybe not getting around it using your ball speed. She's able to get around it a little bit because she's got such good ball speed. It's not reading too early.
Oh, man. We have seen this before, and I know you said it doesn't carry over from the other couple of days, but that's exactly how she bowled the last couple of days.
Absolutely, right here. Wow, look at this. Gets it right there, actually into about 8. And look at that, just sets it up to the pocket, because I think that ball speed is going to be her key. And remember, she's going to end on the good lane.
The more fun lane.
A little more fun lane.
It always amazes me how many tournaments I either watch or participate in this seat, and there's always this huge difference between the lanes. They're right next to each other. And the bucket got broken up, leaving her the 2-4-5.
Looks like she missed this one just a little bit and got that one way out. Look at this, but again, we have used this all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once it got past that tracer out to 1-2, it just did not get back to the pocket.
And that's on her favored lane, too. The right lane has been her pal. She's been striking on it like mad. It's a rare miss for her. And Brianna just zoning out right now.
Everybody.
Oh, no. And that, other than a 4-9, which is an understandable mistake, and by that point it didn't matter, this is her first serious mistake in the gut and the heart, I should say, of a match.
And honestly, I would have maybe taken a re-rack here.
Well, we've seen
Just
a lot of them. Yeah,
yep.
That's a great point.
Just
We've
to
seen a
regroup.
lot of them,
Mhm.
especially when you're facing the more difficult left lane. Or you could just blast them into the pit.
Much better shot.
And that's his granddad right there on his left shoulder. Meantime, not wasting any time at all is clever. And why would you when you're just slaughtering these pins? 5 in a row. And this year she vowed that was going to change. So about 3 months ago, she said she buckled down to her harder work. She worked with a few people. You mentioned Brian O'Keefe, Kim Kearney, Chuck Gardner Jr., Matthew Wilburn, all these people that have helped her. And, of course, she's taken it and run with it. And 6 in a row for Brianna Clemmer. She thinks right now physically she's best she's thrown it in a while, and the evidence is piling up that she's right.
I think that McKendry, both physical game and mental game, they work hand in hand. I don't know who does more of what, but I would say Brian has always been more, because Shannon obviously bowled, more of that physical game type guru, where Shannon has really helped these ladies with the mental process of how to become a champion.
Now, I mentioned McKendry. Brianna was a darn good college bowler herself, but right now, all of the breaks that were going her way and the good shots were going her way have gone away. Look out. She had chopped one earlier today.
I thought it hits.
And here's our Cisco spare of the week. Again, not textbook, but as long as they both go down, that's all that matters. So, Cote now trying to find a magic, but no one's found much magic on the left lane. Well, I guess Clemmer certainly has. And swipe with the 7 to get rid of it. There was 5 bowlers when we started. Only one of them didn't have a PWBA title, and it's her.
Oh gosh.
That was through the nose. That might be her poorest shot so far, but she got away with it.
And she said that when she let it go, she said, oh gosh, she got a little bit late there. You can watch in her backswing right here. Oh, we're a little further past, but in her backswing, she kind of, it's one of those where it didn't get up and drop. It kind of went up, continued, got a little bit muscled on that shot, got around it and missed left.
I wonder about her emotions right now. She's so close to that first title. I mean, big lead. Her opponent's struggling a little bit. It's starting to hit her, I think. I could be wrong. But that's a good way to calm the nerves a little bit.
Come on.
But that's just a heater down the middle. I mean, baseball terms, that would just be a pipe 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Playing the lanes very much like Brianna. Same break point. Again, using her ball speed to her advantage where she can get that ball clean through the front, get it to the right, and there you can see that reaction right there. She is pretty confident right now.
4 straight strikes on the left lane.
Where everybody else was having a hard time.
She has killed that lane. And she had the only mistake was that missed 10-pin on her first shot on that lane. The lane she chose to start on, which was pretty smart. PBA Tour Finals follow us from the West Coast. You know, it would have been nice to catch.
I think I've done that before in the past.
Yep.
And you do have a soft spot, too, for the tournament leader, especially when she threw such, I mean, just awesome games, and the series was phenomenal. But again, making her finish on the left lane was definitely the right thing to do. And with Brianna here, changing balls on that shot on the right lane, it is time for a ball change, where if she were moving on, you would see something different on that right lane.
And I believe that we have our champion.
Yes.
So Brianna Cote, this will be her best finish for the year. But we want to welcome to the PWBA Winner's Circle, Brianna Clemmer. Her first title is the 2022 PWBA St. Petersburg Clearwater Open. So, a champion for the first time. You never forget your first win. And Brianna Clemmer will never forget this day, capturing the title here, the PWBA St. Petersburg Clearwater Open, defeating Brianna Cote, who made a great run up the ladder. But Brianna Clemmer was just too good. Our congratulations to our champion. And Corey Krause presenting her with the trophy. I also wonder, does she get to have the hat and that little seat that goes with it, too? I think that would be a nice prize to take back to the next tournament, which happens to be in Long Island. Be sure to join us Sunday, June 12th at 5 p.m. for the PWBA BBL Classic from Maple Lanes in Rockville Center, Long Island. So Shannon O'Keefe started the day as a number 4 seed, handily defeated Dasha Kovalova, took care of Brianna Cote, the player of the year from last year, and then got really hot in defeating Danielle McEwen. So the scores have improved for Shannon as the day has gone on. Now she takes on the number 1 seed, Missy Parkin.
Future of the Sport oil pattern is 45 feet in length, only 22 mils of oil, which is on the low side, but a very high scoring pace. Key notes here, look at this section, the first 10 feet of the lane, that's where the 9 mils is located. So that means there's about 12 more milliliters of oil from the sections from here at 42 feet and then here at 24 feet, and again this section here. We're bowling on Prodigy oil this week. Notice this dark line here. The women are going to stay close to that as possibly as they can, and then as the lanes break down, you'll see the women start to creep further and further inside, but again keeping very nice tight angles towards that 1-3 pocket, and I guarantee you we're going to see some very high scores on this telecast tonight.
And Kelly, they've come from the person who's going to start things off in our championship match, Shannon O'Keefe, 227, 228, 247. And now she takes on Missy Parkin for the championship.
Yeah, all the high scores have really just come from Shannon and her games.
However, we'll see what Missy does. And as she has done virtually every time, she comes out firing with a strike.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our number 1 seed from San Clemente, California, Missy Parkin.
And that one title was the Queens in Syracuse in 2011. She has picked up some PWBA regional titles. She has certainly made her share of shows. And that's a different ball than she had yesterday.
Yeah, she was using one of our most aggressive bowling balls within our line with a very aggressive cover. Did a couple different layouts through the course of the 2 days of qualifying. Different ball, different time. Telecast is something unique. But she's going to do similar to what Shannon does, but even more direct towards that 1-3 pocket.
So no trouble at all for Parkin. By the way, although it won't happen to Missy, any player who rolls a 300 game during the telecast will receive a $10,000 bonus courtesy of GoBowling.com. Visit GoBowling.com to find local bowling centers, get tips from the pros, and follow the latest news and information about your favorite sport, bowling.
And I don't like them.
We have an interference on the course right now.
What happened?
There's a spider on the approach.
Oh, look at that. So no arachnophobia for Rob Gottschall, our line judge and pest expert.
Yeah. You think you're indoors, you're safe from every element outside. No, unfortunately not. Something with 8 legs managed to find its way to the approach. Missy waited for the clearance.
That's the ball she used yesterday. Oof, and that's the result.
Rocket to the pocket. Yeah, well, she's noticed after talking to the ball reps and having some conversation, witnessing what she saw, Shannon's using 2 different balls. She switched balls in the right lane. So now Missy, if she continues to do so, she's going to use an even more aggressive ball in the left lane and maybe switch to the right one on the right lane. And Missy, we all know her unique style. She does spin the ball a little bit more, but she said during her interview she's going to spin it even more to keep it on line. There's been a hook spot developed, same zone. Gets it a little bit further right down the lane. Ball just loses a little bit too much energy. Flat 10.
A lot of change since things started for Shannon in that first match on these lanes.
Yeah, again, the women just have to continue to keep moving further and further left, but again, keep the ankles tight in front of them. So we might lose a little bit of carry.
You know, I watched you yesterday a few times, and as the day went on, you were moving well left. You know, you kept, I think your line looked the same, but you took everything further left as every game went on, so they're doing the exact same thing.
Yes.
And a trip 4-9 that time. Everything going her way today.
It is. When you catch the breaks, they keep coming towards you. This one is definitely high in the head pin, though. 4-9. I said the pins fall very easily in the center. You can see it doesn't quite get far right. First indicator is board 15. The second one is at board 10 at 43 feet. That was definitely inside. Could have been the 4-9. Gets lucky, trips both pins out.
You've got definitely going to use 2 balls, and there we get a trip on the 10.
Missy's notice the quite angle in her feet. Her first step goes forward, 5-step approach, drops the ball in the swing. What I really like about Missy's game is her left arm right there. It is very free and very open, which means she doesn't really grab the ball in her backswing. She has a very nice loose swing. Great knee bend. Left arm goes out to the side, and also notable, many of you do know this, but for those who don't, she does roll 16-pound equipment.
Yep.
So small in stature, but strong in strength. Needs some help. Doesn't quite get it.
All right, she turns away from that, knowing that she covered it.
I bet DJ's screaming at the television right now being at home. Look at those pretty faces.
And you see that Dasha was the champion last year. She made the show again today. Shannon obviously is still rolling along. Missy Parkin was the #1 seed last year and lost to Kovalova. So very definitely a comfortable house for 3 of our 5 finalists.
And when you walk in the door from the outside into Fitz restaurant, you could see Brent Prentice, the proprietor of this center, all with the champions in the winner's circle from the PWA Tour.
Shannon O'Keefe just continues. Now, this is a tough match early on for her, but the same with Danielle McEwen, and O'Keefe ended up with a 247. That match was close early also.
Yeah, she goes really high in the left lane, trips the 4-9. Now watch this, skates down the lane. Look how the pins just kind of fall out to the side. She's got the best of all worlds. She's got hold in the middle. She's got a little recovery to the right. And now she's in that technology strike where anything that hits a 1-3 seems to be falling for her.
That looked awesome off her hand. As pretty a strike as you'll see today from Shannon O'Keefe. That gives her 3 in a row and 4 of 5 and puts all the pressure on Missy Parkin here.
She's got a good fan in the audience, and Vermilia's son is there as well. 10 pin straight back.
Again, nothing doing on that right lane for anyone not named O'Keefe.
Note that the BVL Classic is part of a 3-event series. So the televised event will be of that BVL Classic, but there'll be 2 events also coinciding in Long Island that week.
Bowl TV is a great spot for those. Parkin, that one slipped and slid and leaves her with a bucket.
With her spin that Missy has, with her unique release, it just goes really, really straight down the lane. Needs all 4.
Got it. And that 8-pin was a little bit late, but that is our Cisco spare of the week. That bucket conversion by Missy Parkin, and a critical shot for her. That is what they are playing for right there in the middle, surrounded, of course, by Twins and Vikings. And a terrific crowd here in Eagan at Cedarvale Lanes. They have been into it from the start. Shannon O'Keefe's put on a great show for them, coming from the #4 position into a lead that you saw.
Having some fun banter with the crowd in the audience.
Got a couple friends over there, but she's also made some new friends as well.
And Taylor Bailey, one of her past students and players at McKendree. and Vermeer's son over there cheering her on.
Might help loosen her up a little bit, too.
Everyone has their own technique, how they stay comfortable. People often ask the question with the mental game, do you like to talk to people? Do you not like to talk to people? Shannon does. I personally do. When you're in the zone and you're comfortable within your game, then you can be a little bit more relaxed by doing other things, and that's just carrying conversation.
Big hammered strike there for Shannon O'Keefe to keep the lead on Parkin. You know, Shannon's done a terrific job coaching at McKendree and having her athletes on the last couple of shows of the PWBA Tour. First, Brianna Clemmer making the finals of the Rockford Open, and last week, Hope Gramley making them at the USBC Queens. Folks at McKendree pretty proud. And Shannon extremely proud of, in fact, a lot of the conversation had with her today reflected on her athletes at McKendree and how proud she is of them. And boy, Missy Parkin stepped into that shot.
Yeah, don't count Missy out. I mean, Shannon pretty much has dominated all the matches previously to Missy showing up here in the championship match. She's only down by 15 pins. She's working on a strike. Light last time on the left lane. She will force Shannon to finish. But that's what I call a rocket to the pocket.
She knew it, too. Every once in a while, a bowler will show maybe a little bit of doubt. There was zero doubt in her mind that was going to be a strike.
Yeah, I got to bowl with Missy back in November in Dubai when we won the World Championships. What a special moment that was.
Needs a double. And there's the 4-9. We've had threatening notes in the 4-9. It was going to show up, and there it is.
Shannon was able to roll it. Missy kept her angles very, very tight. Okay, that's what's so special about this pattern is close back. The pocket's at board 17, and Missy is right on top of it. I hate to say it, it actually could have been worse. It could have been the big 4. She leaves a 4-9, which is still makeable for Missy. And she was clean, I believe, almost all 6 games yesterday in the qualifying round, except for the 4-9.
Oh, perfect.
Big crowd applause on that one from Missy. Charlene Zlikafai was standing up. She used to be Missy's roommate, occasionally roommate on tour. Watch this, the spare ball cross lane. You just have the edge, the left side of the 4-pin. She executes it perfectly as a 4-pin. Doesn't just slide into the 9-pin. It kicks its butt and sends it to the right gutter.
Impossible to do any better than that, and impeccable timing for Parkin to keep Shannon O'Keefe working hard.
And that's it. Shannon hasn't felt any pressure in any of the previous matches. Comes up light there on that right lane where her worst count has been a 7 spare up until this match where she just leaves the bucket.
This is her biggest leave so far today, and she started in the 4 versus 5 match. This is her 4th match, and she hasn't left anything close to this all afternoon. Perfect, right in the pocket.
So still has a lead of 15 pins.
And through the nose that time. So the last couple of shots have been not the quality that she has had throughout the day.
The only difference I really saw in that delivery was just looks like it was a little bit slower inside at the lanes. There's that hook spot at the last minute, just checked up at the very last moment, leaves the 6-10.
Perfectly executed.
And I have to point out, in 4 games on TV, Shannon has been clean throughout all of them. Not one missed spare, not one missed opportunity, and that's what makes Shannon so great.
But the lead dropped a little bit to 13. Here's our BPAA moment of the match. It's this execution of the 4-9, and it was indeed executed. by Missy Parkin.
Missy
So
needed a little bit more time. Takes a re-rec on the right lane.
Why not? And now look at the max scores.
Missy needs to strike here. She is to put on any pressure.
She did strike on this lane twice so far.
Looks good.
In case you're wondering how she got to average 230 this week and be the #1 seed on our telecast, there's your answer.
Yeah, big dynamic change. Again, Shannon pretty much has worked her way up the step ladder with not much pressure throughout the competition. Missy really dart bullets to the 1-3 pocket. 10 pins straight back in the pocket. She liked it off her hand. She's looking for that second win. Obviously, the Queen's back in 2011. She's been runner-up multiple times,
Including the #1 seed here last year.
Needs some help.
Uh-oh. We both saw it.
Yep, insider target. She's been playing so tight to the pocket, to the 1-3. This one, it's pretty much 22 to about 19-20. There was just no angle off her hand into that 1-3 pocket. Hits the head pin straight on and leaves the 4-6.
Well, as you pointed out, the shot that led to the 4-9 you thought could have been worse.
Yes.
And you just mentioned it could have been a big 4. Here, she leaves half of that. And all of a sudden, Shannon O'Keefe is ready for a victory lap. There is your champion, her 15th title, her second time here in Eagan at Cedar Vale Lanes. And she joins Lori Nichols, Anne-Marie Dugan, Cindy Coburn-Carroll, and new Hall of Famer Kim Adler as 15-time PWBA champions. Shannon O'Keefe climbs the ladder to victory. O'Keefe is the winner, defeating Missy Parkin, the top seed, 213 to 192. She is standing by with Kelly Kulick for the trophy presentation.
And here to present the trophy to Shannon, the proprietor of Cedar Vale Lanes for the champion of the PWA Twin Cities Open, Mr. Brent Prentice.
Hey Shannon, congratulations. Our first two-time champion. 2022, here you go. Bookends.
So much, yeah.
Number 2.
Shannon O'Keefe, you just accomplished something. You have another achievement where you joined Lori Nichols, Anne-Marie Dugan, and just recently Kim Adler for 15 titles on tour since it relaunched in 2015. What does this mean?
Are you trying to make me cry?
Absolutely.
God is so good. I just was a little girl with a dream once to win one, and here I am at 15, and it's unbelievable.
Who do you want to thank? We want to thank you, USBC sponsors, BPA, of course, for this tour event and for this 2022 season. Congratulations to Shannon O'Keefe, your 2022 PWA Twin Cities champion.
All right, Carolyn, it is time for a future for the sport oil pattern for tonight.
Very unique oil pattern, 43 feet, medium volume of oil, 25.4 milliliters. We're using Navigate. It is a very medium mixture of oil, so it holds up pretty well. Here's where the ladies started, out here near the track area with stronger bowling balls to control the back end. As the transition occurred, they just continued to move to the middle part of the lane, depending on what you were looking for. To get the ball to the right, cleaner bowling balls. If you wanted to keep the ball in front of you, it was bowling balls that rolled sooner and were still giving you that small, smooth motion off the pattern.
But still a tremendous night so far for Cote.
I mean, shooting 8-10, pretty good.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our #1 seed from Stony Point, New York, Danielle McEwen.
Bowling's finished at about 2 Eastern here today, 3 hours before the show, with the round-robin match play, the top 24 from the 3 events total leading up to the show. And Danielle said, you know what, we're tired. I'm tired. But now the lights are on. It's go time for McEwen. Looking for some help. Does not get it with the 4-pin. Begins the championship match on the left lane.
Okay, so Danielle is going to go against what I'm saying. I'm saying on the lanes, but that doesn't mean anything because Danielle is a phenomenal bowler. Right here, she is the only one tonight to use a super strong ball. Right here, she's using a gem. She's a little bit further left and not throwing it as hard as she normally does. So, again, remember about how when you make the move left, there was more buildup in the middle part of the lane. So, I'm not so sure this is a bad choice because she's going to play her game and Brianna's going to continue to do her game.
First 3 events of the year, the top seed did not win. And then in St. Pete last week, Brianna Clemmer beat this star bowler, Brianna Cote, 226-181 championship match. Sherry Tan, Bowl TV Classic, beat Clara Guerrero. She was the top seed. So 2 of the last 3 top seeds have won. Let's find out what happens here tonight. Flat 10.
Brianna did throw a different ball on her 10th frame, her fill shot. On the right lane, it was a ball she was using on the left lane. She got this one just a little bit further right, a little lazy down lane, but leaves a 10-pin, makeable. But decided to still stick with the ball she's been using, which, I mean, she shot 8-10. How can you argue with that?
7th event of the season. We will have our 7th different winner.
Yes.
Emblematic of the incredible talent on tour this year. So many greats.
Basically, the ladies tonight started in the track area and a mixture of balls, but balls that were actually a little bit cleaner and read this part of the lane. Right now, I would say from the first shot, Danielle is a little bit deeper around that 20 board, getting it to about 18 or 16-ish. But Brianna is still just a little bit further right, using that break point of the 14-15.
So interesting as the lanes transition the last match. A lot has happened, a lot of traffic. And Danielle just gets the one game. Not easy for the top seed.
Push.
Great shot. Late for falls.
On the right lane, it's been that blow the pins and get that 7-pin off. On the left lane, it's been the trip 4. We saw that out of Shannon O'Keefe. We've seen a couple here with Brianna getting the trip 4 to get her back in strike mode.
McEwen right lane. Look for help in the flat 10.
Yep, Danielle crossing about 20 at the arrows. I'll make sure to watch that again too when we get another shot over here. About 20 at the arrows. Here we go. 21 at the arrows. Out to about 13, 14 right here. Ball coming in half pocket. Light hit, leaving the 10-pin.
Cross lane, single pin spare conversion. No worries there.
Now again, we're 2 frames in. So Danielle goes 9, 9, right? First shot, hooked up just a little bit, right lane, a little lazy down lane. Ladies have seen both lanes the same way throughout each game. So again, just a simple move, maybe even just a 1-in-1 to the right on that right lane. I think she'll be right in the pocket.
Trip 10-pin left lane for Danielle McEwen. Great shot. Much needed against the consistent Cote tonight.
Right here, much deeper on the left lane. As you can see, look at this. We're going to draw right here. So that looks close to hitting about 13, 14, right about there. But she's laying it down much deeper on the left lane. And right here, I'd say out to about 12. And then that half pocket kicked the 10 out, which I absolutely love.
Back to Brianna. Right lane. Perfect. Those pins have no chance, none whatsoever. Another strike for Cote, who has been getting them in bunches throughout for 3+ matches tonight. 18-pin victory over McEwen earlier this week here on Long Island in match play.
And one of the things that, and sometimes we don't see it because you only see the frames on TV, but Brianna made the show when she had to get her ball to the right and down the lane, and now she's making a show where you need to keep your angles maybe a little bit more in front of you. That's how versatile these ladies are out here. And you don't, a lot of times at home you only see these 10 frames. You don't see the greatness that they do throughout the week.
Looks for the turkey. 21-pin lead, left lane. And we've seen the flat 10 a lot. Not so much on the left lane.
See if we can see if this is still playing them basically the same, just right here, same break point. She has not been off on her break point at all. I mean, she very rarely throws it everywhere anyway. But again, just a little bit half pocket, could be just a little bit quicker. I mean, you have to have a little adrenaline going. I mean, you just shot 8-10. You're just striking at will, right? Leaving all sparables. So again, this is where she'll have to, clean up the spare and then sit down, take some deep breaths, go through her process, task at hand.
Right lane for Danielle. Looking for help, 7-pin. Not quite there this time. And the bowlers to veteran link.
Not a bad shot.
The family's so heavily involved there. CB's sorry. The
I
PBL,
apologize.
it's a great organization.
Right here, as you can see, she started that bowling just a little bit deeper. It laid off just a little bit. That right lane, everyone has said, has been a little bit tighter. We've seen a couple of the 7-pins. We saw that out of Shannon. We saw that out of Diana. We see that now out of Danielle. But I love Danielle's game. Well, I love everybody's game. Don't I say that every time I'm commentating? I mean, again, one of the things that I love about women's bowling is I think any bowler can learn something. They're fundamentally sound, and it's, wonderful. 72% win probability for Cote. Obviously not as high for Danielle, but it's not over yet.
A lot of bowling left here. Championship match. But the 7-10 split. Almost unmakeable. That's a tough lead for McEwen.
Now, one of the things Danielle does right here, she's playing much deeper, much stronger ball. It's going to read a little bit earlier, be smooth on the back end. She is getting just her normal rolling through it, around it just a little bit. But right here, this is telling you right now with that blower 7 and 7-10, time for a ball change. Because you're bowling against Brianna, who has control of the pocket. It's time to make a decision.
On balls or just
I think she needs
two reps right now.
I think she needs a ball that's just a little cleaner. That's one of the things too we talk about is we're listening.
Change on both, make the shots.
Back to Cote. Back to the strike. The 10-pin. And Brianna, I've noticed CDB tonight really moves quickly. She's not someone who takes a lot of time with her pre-shot prep.
No, and right here on this shot, she got that ball further right, and look at how nice and smooth off the end of that pattern that ball was. So here's what I would do if I were Danielle. What is she doing to give her that look that I'm not? And then make her ball selection based on that.
Midway point championship match. Cote looks for the double. 33-pin lead into the 6th. 289, 243, 278 games so far. She's bowled brilliantly, trying to keep that up. Does so well. 8-pin. I can't believe it didn't fall.
I tell you, I thought it was getting ready to.
The laws of physics.
Right here. Again, look at her angles. She has just been rock solid. Right up about 14, and that ball just goes right past that 8-pin. Unbelievable.
The nudge was not enough. Eight-pin. Got that. Ocean Parkway, Long Island. Number star McKenny, first career PWBA Tour title. Here it's been Brianna Cote, who was in the championship match against Clemmer last week in Florida and lost 226-181 to Brianna. Brianna, it's her night so far, in control again. After blasting Zavyalova, Johnson, and O'Keefe. 23-pin lead out of the break. Critical shot and frame here. Coming off the open frame. For McEwen. Good shot, 10-pin.
Great ball change. Totally agree with it. Much cleaner ball. Still moved just a little bit further right. Lines much straighter. I love it. I think that was the look, but we had talked about that from the very first match. Again, we talked about Diana wanting to be a little bit further left. She wound up changing balls so that she could actually be a little straighter in the front. Great ball change.
10-pin got that. Single pin spare conversion for Danielle McEwen. Top seeded. She told us today, going to try to keep an open mind. Had a game plan about 3 hours before the show. In our meeting with her. It's all about 12 good shots, but you just couldn't anticipate Brianna Cote bowling this well. She's just been tremendous. Demolishing the competition. Left lane. Good 10-pin.
Great shot. It is. She made the ball change on the right lane, made the ball change on the left lane. Still playing the same line, not getting it right of 15, 14, 15. Love it. Look at that follow through. You talk about leverage, and she liked it. She has such a long swing. I love it. I mean, it's just poetry in motion. I mean, just every now and then when she gets a little late and pulls down on it, that's when she tends to overturn it on the side.
Look at the breakdown.
Looks great.
There. Wow.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
30 of 41. Looking for the 31st strike of the show and a flat 10 that time on the right lane.
How many shows do you do when you go looking for the 30th strike on the show?
Never. I mean, never.
Great shot, but gets down the lane just a little bit further. Right here, deflects off just a little. Pin goes right in front of the 10, leaving a flat 10. I think I could go through all the pins she's left so far tonight because there's so few.
Not very many.
Right.
It's just been 9 spare
And
strikes,
single,
right?
Single pins.
Every single time.
Yeah.
I'm looking at all the score sheets here.
And throwing things at me, Dave.
Wasn't me. Scorekeeper Cecil Scarborough let that one go. There's the 10-pin. And yes, another 9 spare for Brianna Cote. Brilliant tonight. Eighth frame, works on a spare. Avoids disaster. 4-7. What? 8 pins?
I just said she only left single pins, right? Definitely kept this one a little bit straighter. As you can see, that dark board as it's going down, you could see she got just a little left of it. Goes a little high. She has the 10th frame, if I'm looking correctly, that her 10th frame will be on the left lane. I would make a move.
Potential game changer there if the 10-pin stands. 4-7. Stays focused. Has that.
And as you and I always like to look at it, Dave, we could have a potential tie.
Like looped instead of there earlier. Okay.
Not over yet.
Okay.
Time's now for Danielle.
More in front of me.
See the max scores. Here's the right lane. Oh my goodness! Another 7-10 split. Disastrous this late in the match.
Right here, you're going to see she still playing a little bit deeper, but gets this ball way right. Look at this. Right there. Way out to about 7-8. Ball just does not get to the pocket. I still think the ball on the right lane is just a little too strong. I love it on the left lane because, believe it or not, even though that lane is hooking a little earlier, she's deeper. So she's gotten left of it. And she has a nice look, holds to the pocket. Just needs to make an adjustment on that right lane.
Devastating open frame. In the 8th with a real chance to make it interesting. Now to the foundation frame. Left lane for McEwen. And I can't believe what I'm seeing. Did we just see back-to-back 7-10s?
Yes. And
have you ever seen it?
Actually, that's 3 7-10s.
3 total.
3, sorry, that's 3. Back-to-back, yes.
Oh.
But that right there,
Goodness.
yeah, that's just, okay. I mean, that's just a bad break. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about that.
And as tough as that is for Brianna Cote on the bench, seeing back-to-back 7-10 splits, back-to-back opens for McEwen. The wheels have fallen off for Danielle, who had a chance going into the 8th frame, and now Cote to her foundation frame. Just got to stay clean to put it away and win her 3rd career title. Tough. It's just so hard, Carolyn. You've been there. A rough time. Danielle's the top seed, bowled so well to get this far. And see
Right,
just
and you know what,
like
she's sitting there thinking, you know, what did I do? What did I do? What can I do? And it's, honestly, I thought she made a great shot on that left lane. I thought the shot on the right lane was close. I just think the ball was just a little bit too early.
Needs 9 pins. Gets 10, has the victory. Brianna Cote is the winner of the 2022 PWBA BBL Classic here on Long Island tonight. This match is over. 3rd career tour title for Brianna Cote. Brilliant all night. Climbs the ladder in Rockville Center to a championship. 212-152. Brianna Cote, a winner for her 3rd career title. Carolyn Doran-Ballard, joined by the Laspina family for the presentation.
Okay, that was some awesome bowling. 8-10 for 3, and then a mediocre 212, I guess, there at the end. No, I'm only kidding. Phenomenal bowling, and here to present you with a lovely trophy, Mr. John Laspina.
Well, Brianna, thank you for everything you've done this week. You were phenomenal. I can't begin to tell you how grateful we all are for everyone's professionalism, but your skill is beyond words. That said, we're here because people paid the price for our freedom. And BVL is bowling's commitment to the veterans, 80 years, a total unbroken chain, and we're here because people paid a price. So for all of you that serve, thank you. Joseph will give you the trophy. Hold on tight. It's a BVL bowling ball with Johnny Petraglia's signature on it. He's our veteran and our pro bowler and our dear friend. And here you go, Carolyn. Thank you all.
Thank you. Well, hats off to the Laspina family and everyone else here at the Bowling Center. Great job. Well done. Brianna, okay, just simply put, you were on a roll, and I hate to say this to everybody because don't think of me, but you were my pick. You were confident. You were overdue. What happened out there tonight?
I just told myself, control the pocket, and if they fall, they fall. I can't make them fall, as the 8-pin decided to stand. But control the pocket, be me, make my spares, and if I have the highest score, I will advance.
Well, you definitely had the highest score by a lot. So congratulations. And again, great bowling to all of the ladies this week in the finals. Back to you, Dave.
Step ladder bowling here in Addison, Illinois. Clara Guerrero is the top seed. Birgit Norex from Germany is the 2 seed. Laura Plazas of Colombia is next up against Danielle McEwen, 11-time member of Team USA. Colombia, one of 16 countries represented at this prestigious event. 30 international players in all, 3 on our show.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our number 3 seed from Colombia, Laura Plazas.
Just turned 26 years old, Kel, last week. What a pleasure to talk to. So much energy, optimism. Wichita State alum, part of that incredibly tradition-rich program. Great athlete growing up in Colombia. Played every sport you can imagine. Bringing 10-pin, looking for a little help with. Cross lane for the 10-pin. And a spare for Lara. Aerospace engineering major at Wichita State. Hasn't gone into that field yet because she's been so busy bowling on the women's tour and for Team Colombia. They've got them really busy this summer, as she and Clara told us today.
Yeah, almost to the point where they can't fit everything in. I know Clara has permission to bowl a few PWA stops and could be bowling elsewhere for Colombia.
McEwen going to start the match too. A major championship is so special.
And something she wants to achieve throughout her entire career. I know she did make a ball change. She tried something in the 10th frame, carried it over into the beginning of this match with a shinier, pearlized asymmetric bowling ball, more responsive down lane, cleaner through the front. And Danielle's a practice fiend. Yeah. She just continues daily over and over again. So I know that 2-month break had to be mentally tough on her.
Right lane for Laura. How does a 10-pin stand? 10-pin, wide. Does a lot of training with BMX bikers, cyclers, gymnasts. She works with weightlifters, a lot of cross training. She's in tremendous shape. Watch out, though. Well, maybe the nerves got the best over there. Whips on the 10-pin, open frame for Plazas.
Made it to the show with her high series.
First time on TV. PWBA tour. She's been on plenty of times for Team Columbia and Wichita State. But this, Kelly, is a different story.
It's a different beast.
Nice shot. Left lane. Crunches the 1-3 pocket. WBA tour title. Congrats to her. Touch high, 6-10.
Danielle's starting to migrate a little bit deeper on that right lane. I'm just looking for launch angles where it's controlling down here. Slightly inside, you can see the light green of that bowling ball pick up. As we say in the bowling world, keep chasing it, meaning keep going further left inside. Give yourself a little bit more skid.
$6-10, no worries there for Danielle. 20-pin lead. Clara, Laura, Danielle. I hope all big stars collegiately. Laura and Clara Guerrero both at Wichita State. National champs, Danielle at FDU. And hope we talk about her story from McHenry, winning the team championship this year in Columbus, Ohio. Part of a spectacular run that continues for McHenry and the Bearcats next year. Because hope is back. Left lane, a little high. 3-6-10 up for Danielle.
Sliding 25, 26, 17, 18. Again, it's just not projecting down the lane. It's not getting its skid through that part of the lane. It's starting to pick up even sooner at this section, so it's not getting through that mid-section. Remember, I said the pattern itself is only half the lane. The rest is that brush kind of
frame. Did you talk about the first TV appearance? Didn't seem, when we met with her this morning, overly nervous about it. Such a confident personality. her mode. Trust my game plan. A little bit off the mark. They're looking for help on the 2-pin. Not enough. Serious golfer in Colombia. About 10 years old. She was waiting to play. It was pouring rain. Where'd she go? Inside the bowling center. 2-pin, there's a mark. And a bowling coach from Team Columbia came over and said, you just can't sit here being bored. Here's a bowling ball. Let's try this. And she really fell in love with the sport and gave up golf eventually. By the way, she's a near-scratch golfer. That good an athlete as you see her road to the finals.
Yeah, qualified 63rd. Liz Culkin was second. So she defeats the number 2 speed all the way, goes against Deandra, defeats her, lose to Birgit, who's back on this telecast, and then down the line, look at the legacy of athletes she had to defeat to get to the telecast tonight. Stephanie Zavala, Rookie of the Year. Zabialova has won this tournament twice, Shannon O'Keefe once. Catches the lucky crossover strike.
Sometimes you get a little lucky. Win probability looks good now for McEwen, right lane, trip 10-pin.
Good move by Danielle. Some minor adjustment with her feet and her target.
For a 16-pin lead, left lane. Misses the target, 2-8. Danielle left the 2-8 in the same frame in the last match.
Yeah, physically, I think when Danielle is trying to generate speed, she actually steps out of her approach a little bit. That's why I think her hand is not getting back in that position.
She's a good sport. Big shot here for Laura, who was talking, Kel, with tour rep Mac McNeil a moment ago. Said she has good look, just got to execute better.
Doesn't quite catch a shaker, and I agree with her, Dave, but I will say, like, when the women went from match to match,
challenging conditions, got her 7-pin. Left lane, Laura crosses over.
well, she kind of takes her pinky and tucks it underneath the second joint, so she really puts all the pressure right by the index finger on that callous part of the hand, the medius part of the hand, to rotate her hand around the ball.
But I want to have the same angle, but just like a couple boards to the right.
Yeah, just kind of trap it in there a little more. Yeah, let's do that.
Advice from Matt McNeil. 6'10" Danielle crossing over 2. So
Doesn't quite get to that tracer. So right here, this is a big part right here. That's a big, big part right there where the ball is trying to get down to the lanes, not feeding to that spot, and has to get there, which means it's starting up too soon. Responsive bowling ball, maybe something symmetrical, cleaner cover to try to push through the middle and not be so responsive to it. She's got a 5-pin lead, goes in this 8th frame. The ball looked really good the first few frames, but again, she either has to continue to migrate deeper inside, really start sliding in that 28-29 zone, and try to project the ball, get more hold in front of her by creating a little bit more angle.
So the breakdown, left lane, right lane. Here's the left, Danielle, big shot, delivers!
And there it is.
3rd seed, Laura Plazas. Like Clara, longtime member of Team Columbia. Clara, a real mentor in Laura's development. Nicely done.
Now, here's where I find something interesting, Dave. You have the tour reps from the companies, right, giving ideas. Then you have her coach from Team Columbia on the left side giving her ideas. So now there's a mishmash of thoughts going through her head of, what am I going to do?
Maybe too much?
Maybe too much.
Interesting. Left lane, Laura, 4-pin.
That was a big shot right there. You can see where that ball just wants to pick up and go sideways in the back end. Leaves the 4-pin. I wonder if that missed spare early on is going to haunt her at the end of this match.
And
when
she
she
said it
missed
was
the
today,
10-pin.
right? How big spare shooting would be on TV. Have to convert, had an open. But her attitude, as she told us, I've got nothing to lose. It is. Pedal to the metal. Watch it. Oh, goodness, right on cue. 4-pin stands, a huge whiff, and McEwen is in great shape.
Opens the door for Danielle.
Go up 27, foundation frame, and also leaves a 4-pin.
Good extension, great knee bend.
That's what Danielle needs for the win. After knocking out Hope Bramley in match 1. Trying to climb the ladder. As Danielle Kelly told us today, sometimes nice to come from that first match. You see the lanes transition. You're used to the conditions, the TV lights. And she's had plenty of experience, but you're in a groove when you're bowling a lot. Nothing's new, because you've been on the TV pair since it started, as I say that at 7-10.
Kind of gets that ball onto lane a little bit more. Such a bad break. 6-pin falls right in front of the 10-pin. 4-pin doesn't quite take out the 7.
Near impossible conversion. And just 10-pin.
So Laura still needs to get the first 2. So strike, double strikes 175. Strike 2 doubles and 5 will win it, of course.
Has to have it to have a chance. The first, yes. And her best shot of the match comes when she needs it most. Wow, just shrapnel remaining.
Yeah, she flushed the pocket last time on this right lane. Ball does the same exact thing. Once more.
Plazas needs it. Plazas gets it! Back-to-back jacks in the clutch.
Talk about bowling under pressure. Identical back-to-back shots, maybe a little bit quick on that delivery. Right on target, well executed.
Needs 5 pins.
Gets 6.
Needs a bucket, gets 6, but that's enough for a 2-pin win for Lara Plazas in her TV debut. The Team Columbia star will take on Birgit Noritz of Germany next. It wasn't easy, but Laura advances.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our number 3 seed from Shiloh, Illinois, Shannon O'Keefe.
Future Hall of Famer has 15 titles, 3 majors, but not a U.S. Women's Open yet. 2018 USBC Queens in Reno, 2019 Tour Championship in Richmond. 2-time Player of the Year. Brilliant career. As always, the McKendree Bearcat colors. Head coach of the women's team, won the national championship this year and leads the 10-pin.
Shannon, obviously no stranger to the TV lights, comes out full force.
It's amazing. Back on TV again. All the different conditions, challenging formats like the U.S. Women's Open. Last week, Long Island, totally different scenario set up. Lane conditions, back on TV again. Cross lane, got enough of that for the 10-pin. Any player rolls a 300 game during tonight's telecast will receive a $10,000 bonus courtesy of GoBowling.com. Visit GoBowling.com to find local bowling centers, get tips from the pros, and follow the latest news and information about your favorite sport, bowling. Going to be tough for CDB on these conditions, to say the least. McCarthy, good start. Great start. Match 2 for Aaron. told us today she's going to relax. She's going to take her time and not rush. She feels like in prior TV shows she's rushed herself in big moments and missed shots and missed the pocket.
Getting her ball into the swing, holding it a little lower so that she can slow down her ball speed just a little bit, and that ball's reading perfectly.
2 seed last week for Shannon on Long Island, but lost to Brown Cote, 4 seed who ran the table. Back on TV again. O'Keefe can do it. Off the 1-3 pocket. 60 feet to success for Shannon O'Keefe.
Shannon 4 steps, gets her ball into the swing quick, wins that step, but look at this leverage right here. Love it. The knee bend, the chin over the knee. She's a traditional style, but has such leverage and power getting into the line. And honestly, with that hip injury, she still looks perfect. I mean, she really does.
Third frame. Wow, great start. Both bowlers looking really good here in match 2. Shannon for months has been bothered by upper left hip injury. She says at times she's at 40%. It's so painful, but she's going to just have to keep grinding through it to the end of the season.
And watching that shot too, both ball reps for both companies have said the lanes are changing very quickly. The ladies have already made the move to the left, and again will generate their ball speed, whether it may need it harder or softer to do what the ball needs to do on the lane.
8 strikes total. Aaron, all right, continues the great start here in match number 2.
Erin here getting the ball into the swing a little bit earlier than she naturally does, but look at this right here. I love this. This is all power and leverage. Look at that left arm out in front of her, a little bit higher than normal, but watch how the ball comes down, just smooth, uses all of her legs, and again, taking her hand out of it, which, you know, Erin likes to get around the ball, but she has become much more versatile.
Broken strike. Cross it over, she'll take it. Sometimes a little lucky.
Gets just a little bit quick. You could see that right there, her foot. She stuttered just a little bit. Ball went back a little bit quicker, misses a left. And again, that is not what she's trying to play. She is not trying to play the hold. She's trying to get her ball to the right, but gets a break and gets the Brooklyn. Or as people in Brooklyn would say, the Jersey.
Aaron. All right, so Shannon right lane trying to respond. And good shot, bringing 10 pin.
Controlling the pocket like Shannon always does. Executing. Looks great coming in. Just wraps around that 10 pin. Now, the other thing is too, Shannon does both, right? Gets up the back of it, gets on the side of it a little bit. She is a little more on the side of it, so that ball doesn't read too early, but still has a great shot to the pocket.
Can't afford to miss the way Aaron's bowling. At least the first few frames of match number 2. Not the case for Shannon yet. Maybe that changes here tonight. Plenty of TV experience. Championship round. Somehow the 10 pin defies the laws of physics and gravity and does not fall.
Man, another great shot. Moved in a little deeper, using that 12 as her gutter down lane. Ball just deflects off a little bit, wraps around that 10, but boy, it wobbles. And again, she's using the same ball on both lanes, but again, stronger ball, a little bit less surface, so you don't have to fight that front part of the lane, you know, with such a low volume of oil.
National Coach of the Year, Conference Coach of the Year several times, multinational champion. 7 events on tour, 7 different winners. McCarthy looks for the front 5, trying to stay perfect. No Brooklyn strike this time, 6 pin. control the pocket, get a few breaks. That's what Brianna Cote said last week when she won on Long Island. And you get the feeling it's happening early with Erin McCarthy here in match number 2.
You travel with your bowling balls and you're traveling with someone. There's a lot of factors that go into it.
6 frame works on a spare. With a touch high, and he's 6'9", 10. Stand for Erin. Covers nicely. Midway point, CDB, match 2. Great bowling here. Back to match 2. Down by 18. 6th for O'Keefe, works on a spare. 2 strikes for Shannon so far in the match. Out of the commercial break. How does she respond with a 4-pin?
Shannon has thrown 6 great shots. She's using a ball that reads the middle part of the lane on its own, clean, but look at that. Smooth off the end of the pattern, doesn't have to get the ball way right. She's doing the right thing. It's one of those things where you want to make the slight adjustments, not the big ones, because you are controlling the pocket.
Four-pin got that, no problem. The announcement came over the PA system. 14-time title is Shannon O'Keefe. She's looking around like, what? Really? 14? Well, it became 15 that week. And she knocked off Erin in match play. Quite a career for the head coach.
Come on, Keith.
But a tough split here. 4, 6, 7.
Terrible shots.
I don't think she liked that shot. You could hear her talking right here. She got around that one just a little more and missed left and paid the ultimate price. Yep, she did. You could hear her say something. I think it was, oh my God, or that's what I would have said.
6 stands, open frame. And that's devastating. Look at that. The lead balloons by 11 pins on the bench for McCarthy. Seventh frame, 6-10.
Right here, that ball picked up. Let me tell you, that did not look like a bad shot, but that ball picked up much earlier. According to what I'm being told, the left lane hooks a little bit earlier, but this right lane at this point might be catching up. They transitioned fast, and the lady who made the quickest moves usually won the match.
Cross lane, 6-10, got that, and takes care of business. 8th frame, trying to knock off Shannon O'Keefe. 4-pin.
Definitely increased her ball speed on that shot. Pitched it just a little bit, got a break, leaving the 4-pin still a little bit sharp. On the back end right here, you could see she got this one out on the lane much more, used a little more of her upper body, still up the back of it, but look at where that ball is picking up. Where before it was actually sailing through that spot. Again, it'll be time for another move to the left or increase the ball speed even more. But you got to make sure you're not going to hit up on it, kind of like Shayna. I don't want to hit up on it. I want to be smooth.
8th for O'Keefe. The time is now. No room for error. 2-time player of the year. I asked her about that today with her massive lead in points entering this event. She said, I don't even look at it. Don't even check the stats. Staying focused on day-to-day. Needs a lot of strikes starting right now and gets it on the right lane. Needs this left lane.
Oh!
Gets it. Making things interesting. Cuts it at 20 pins.
Another good shot. She's so smooth getting to the line. Those were 2 of her best shots to get herself back in this match. And again, off of this light hit, blowing out that 4-5-7. Do not move. Stay there and execute.
Foundation frame for McCarthy. Big shot. 7-pin. Years at Nebraska. Went to Midland. She graduated with an accelerated nursing program. That's what she needs. There are times she's been so limited because of her full-time job as a nurse. Maybe 2-3 times a week, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of practice. That's it. Amazing that she's in this position. So dedicated to her full-time job that she's on the verge of a win here. Match 2. Left lane, comes in high, 6-10. Shan's gonna have a chance. Great shot.
Much more aggressive on that shot, smoother off her hand, and you could see the angle of the ball. Right here, much smoother off her hand than that first shot. More end over end, and look at that. Just stops in the right spot.
Two strikes and 8 for O'Keefe. Leads the first one.
Harry! Yes!
There's the first one. There's some former McHenry Bearcats and current World Grambling back there watching. What a shot.
Fantastic shot. Aggressive. And she knew it when she let it go.
Gotta have it. Strike at 8. No strike here. McCarthy wins. Needs this strike. Wants it a hook. It does! Just enough to find the 1-3 pocket and knock down all 10. Now 8 pins for the victory. 7 for a tie.
Gets this one a little right of where she was playing. Didn't quite catch that one as much as she did the first one, but gets the break on the light hit.
Eight for the win. O'Keefe
Oh my God.
doesn't get it
Jeez.
and loses. Wow.
I'm not going to say anything on that.
All right.
That's just not Shannon. Lanes aren't that easy, but that's not Shannon O'Keefe. She little excited, but she knows how to calm herself down. That's just, she needs to let that go. It was a big shot. 8 pins is not easy on this condition. Gets it left of her target, right off her hand. She probably knew it. As you can see, it picked up way sooner.
That only gets 5, and McCarthy on the bench had to think that it was over. She'd lose to the 2-time player of the year. Instead, McCarthy advances on the 5 pins from O'Keefe when she needed 8 for the win. Amazing turn of events, and Erin McCarthy takes on Jordan Richard next from here in New York State.